Again. So I've always had some sort of trouble with this stuff, like nothing's really worked great for me. Test one. No. So I don't know why I can't see myself. Oh, now it's gone. Cool. And I was just scratching my belly for it. Sorry, it's YouTube jumping around. I will be with you. Cool, I'm good. Alright everyone, I'm back. That's like, what, 2 minutes in? I'm trying to get this down. Every time I've tried to do these videos, I haven't quite got the system right. Batteries go flat, iPhone overheats, GoPros weren't working. Anyway, and I've always ended up deleting them, but this time I'm like second video in. So this is continuing on from this morning. I'm building TS10s, point to point on tag strip. So there'll be another link I'll try to put in the description if I remember. And I'll put them as a series. Hopefully I can get through it from beginning to end. These pedals usually take me a really long time, but I'm trying to speed things up by building 2 at a time. I have today, like the day is getting away, it's already nearly 2 o'clock p.m. and tomorrow's a public holiday, so I'm going to be working on them probably through then too. But I just want to see how far I can get, and keeping a video running overhead keeps me going, keeps me on my toes. Otherwise it might be, procrastinating. It's so easy to just like stare off into space building these things, like trying to think what's going next, what am I going to be burying accidentally. I had some coffee this morning. I just went out to the garage, got a beer. It's Sunday. I'm not sure if it's going to be a good idea. It's really hot out there. Yesterday was 38 C, what's 100, bit over 100 Fahrenheit. Today it's in the high 30s. Blasting the aircon, staying on top of it. That's a West Coast IPA I've been working on for a home brew. I just keep doing the same sort of beer. It's not even clarified yet, but it's pretty good. Okay, keep going. So I went off, had a break, had a meal, had a bit of an unwind. The phone had to upload the video anyway. It turned out okay. So I'm prepping these tag strips with any wires and stuff, and then I'm going to start dropping them in. So I'll just get these out of the way. There's a lot of carbs in this beer. That's going to be my other half of lunch. So just thinking of my little cheat sheet. I will need, how many wires? I got 2 wires that come off this. One of them I'll do before it goes in. So I was realizing, like, my last video would have been just like incoherent ramblings. I did get to chat to a few people. That was cool. If you want to chat, please say hi. I've got the chat window up in front of me. I'll just look up every now and then. But yeah, I do space out. I'm sort of like half talking to myself, and I don't know if anyone's there, so it's sort of like, so yeah. Don't know where I was going with that. I'm just like pointing out the elephant in the room. So this video is going to go for ages. Hopefully if it holds out, like, I'll see how far I can go with the build. Probably shouldn't have that beer just sitting in a shot. It's going to look nasty. I'll put it aside. Wouldn't normally have a beer while I'm working, but it's Sunday. I've been working non-stop. I'm actually doing a full-time study this year, so I don't have like minutes free, like when I get a minute. So weekends, it's like, well, Sunday is the end of the weekend, but I'm calling this the weekend, but I'm working, I'm like pretending it's my day off, just I'm getting stuff done that I had to do, that's all. But I'm loving it too, like the extra pressure is sort of what I need to manage things a bit better. Like out of necessity, I'm sort of learning like, well, if you can build 2 of these at one time, it's going to be way quicker. Or maybe not way quicker, but significantly quicker, like worthwhile. Whereas like normally I'd be lazy and just like, well, I've got time, I'll build them one at a time, nice and slow. Anywho, that's going in the 3rd one from the right. I'm going to put the shortest one I have in the side that I'm soldering, because in the long one I'll have more chance of maneuvering it where I want. If anyone's interested in the beer, it's like sort of hop heavy. It's not a haze. I'm not really loving the haze market. I don't have a craze for haze. Very citrus heavy, a bit of pineapple. Okay, that's gonna come down. So I go under 1 row and then hook back up. So I'm just gonna put a hook out now, so it's gonna feed in nice and easy later. What else? I might as well do. So because I'm doing 2, every action I do, I have to sort of just duplicate it to the next piece. And that way, it's a bit more mindless to get the second one built, unless humming and hawing. Trying to heat up the terminal, not the wire. You probably can't see everything I'm doing. It's not so much an instructional, like, I don't know who's got that much time to watch all this and what you can learn. There's better things you could be doing. Oh, that's hot. That terminal is cooking. I'm just cleaning off any black nasty left behind. I put on my American accent to say nasty. Maybe it was like a Seth MacFarlane nasty. Okay, I'm just thinking what else do we need before we move on. I think I can drop that in. I will need some 37mm wires. I'll get them ready now, just so that way it's like a fail safe. I won't forget. I'll look at them and say, oh yeah, it's better if I get it in front of this one. Yeah, anyways, I can try and like make sure things get ticked off and not forgotten is worthwhile. Not much room for like any sort of mistakes. So just don't. So yeah, I'm trying to be pretty systematic about all this, and the more little things you can find, because like human errors, it's such a real thing. So any hacks to get around that? Try and take. Pretty much just don't be human. Hey Matt, yeah, long weekend. So I've got tomorrow, like that's my grace for why I'm trying to do 2 at once. Otherwise I would have done 1, got it out to the customer, done the one over the following days. So I'm hoping it's all going to squeeze in, but so if you're waiting on a TS10, one of these TSXs, these are the last 2, so I'm sorry that this will, I'm working on it. But yeah. So I'll put them aside. I'm going to need hardware. I'm going to count that up. Yeah, hopefully you're having a good long weekend. Down. I forgot, that's good. And some of these, I am worried about the numbers getting low. How many do I need? 5, 10, so I need 20. Is that right? 5. Yeah, 20. Oh yeah, I am worried, like, sometimes these things can sneak up, so 2, 4, 6, 7. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I need to order them immediately because 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can't build another pedal. I already had some on order from a different source, and these were like some I got from RS. I paid a premium price, like to get them shipped in ASAP. I should have got 100 of them maybe instead of 50. I didn't know you guys were going to buy so many of them. Don't need the lighter anymore. That's for heat shrink. I'm done. Got my cooking box. So yeah, I better suss that out. I'm just going to make a note of that ASAP, otherwise I'll forget. So I just got like a little reminders app on my computer, and I've got a parts list for every distributor. So RS hex bolts out order ASAP. So that's something I'll have to do in the parts order. I've got parts orders like way overdue. I need from everyone. I just have to get orders done. Like that seems more important before I buy more stuff, but I'm trying to do too much stuff. Anyway, that's my story for the day. So I'm going to start dropping these in. For some reason I was silly and just turned my whole screen off and logged out. So I'm going to try and keep punching through, keep at it. So these I got my worry too. So I need 20 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It should make it. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Wow. I put that on my Dazatronyx list. Usually that was a small pack. M3 nylon nuts. Lots of. So I'm going to pull all these out. Count them out now. If they don't add up later, then that's like a double check. You don't really need these washers, and it might look better without them, but I'm going with them. It's in the picture already, so it's advertised that way. 5, 6, 7. I mean, I put them in for insurance, sort of, like in case I scratched the enclosure, but if I didn't have them, like I could roll the dice. So it says 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 10. It's hard to count and talk. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. The build wait time on these is 5 days though, so if there was an emergency, I'd probably have enough time to get something express shipped in. All my parts, like everything's post in, post out. So, looking here, what do I have to connect? That mid pot will come in. I think that's about it. That 47 nano I'll have to jump across, and I'll have to put another wire in there too. Okay. This one I prepared earlier, I can put it in now, so I will. Because the wire's going to go in the bottom, looks like the component's going to connect at the top, so not a problem to do it now. that's the last of that spool of wire, so I'm just... I've got another one there. It looks like it's a very slightly different colour. I just realised before. Maybe no one could tell. So the mouse will run out of this wire, and they just keep jacking the price up. It's crazy. But they are currently out of stock with the particular one that I used and the colour that I use. So just thinking before I do. So I've had to order in a slightly more expensive one, which has more strands per. So I don't use solid core. I don't like it. And this new one doesn't say 19. No, I don't know. More strands per thing. So that's good. I'll dump that in. I'll need some special tools. I'll use this for the hex. And for the time, I've got a fixed socket thingy. So just make some space. I'll look to see if the washer has a dressier side. Sometimes they do. Put it in by finger. I'm sort of hoping at this point I haven't forgotten anything, because you know, because all the hardware, once all this sort of starts burying things in, it's a bit hard to get out again for if you made a mistake. Doesn't mean you can't service things, like you can still get into all the parts, but like the tag strip should never have to come out. It's not a serviceable part. Or you could, but like you wouldn't expect to replace a tag strip. It's just a lump of raw material. Just last chance for errors, I guess. Okay, now I'm just going to incrementally tack it up a bit. I'm hanging off the edge, but I'm also really trying not to let the enclosure bump onto the desk. I don't want to, you know, it has to look brand new and completely, you know, brand new. So it's tricky because you're handling it so much, like so many hours of the day you're working on that one pedal. It's going to move across to the other one, and I'm not going to go all the way, I'm just sort of getting them close enough. And then I'm going to make sure it all seats where I want it, and then tighten it up, that last bit. Okay, so looking at this, I can go a bit more. Is really tight, like the socket sort of pushes up against the enclosure. Well, it does, and it scuffs a little bit on the side. So not much I can do. This one's rotated a bit one way. So as I tighten that, I'm going to try and do it from the outside rather than the inside, so I don't rotate it further. If it grabs, it's not. I've gone pretty much all the way now. Anyway, that's as tight as I want it to be. And I'll do the same here. Is it spinning? Yep. Just can't quite make it as I can. Cool. So what do you notice immediately? It's all wonky and skewy. So I'm going to just sort of shape it with without putting pressure, because you can just legit snap these boards too. If you push and pull them where they don't want to push and pull. That's better. So as you keep working too, you got to wrap things around, pull one way or the other, and it's kind of like knitting or crocheting. You have to make sure that things are even, otherwise you'll get pulls and it'll show, like it'll show that you weren't so competent in what you were doing, which is okay. So that's the first one in. This is the first time I'm trialing doing this pot straight on, and I really like it. I'm just wondering if I can still get into that. Yes, I can. I'll do that maybe now. No, I'll do it soon. So I've got to jump between the two builds. I'll try and carbon copy the sequence as I go. I'm going to solder this potentiometer in now, just so I don't forget, and then leave it, and then maybe miss some testing. It would be nice from the other side, but I don't want to make a big blob there. I want to keep the lead sort of flexible. I do normally solder from the other side if I can, but that worked out well. Cool. Anything I'm forgetting? I've got to put in the 47. One that goes into the third terminal, which is there, which is really close to pretty much everything. So I might. It's a bit late now, but I might put some insulation on over the top. You gonna be cool about it? Yeah, you are. Cool. Why not? Let's feed this through. So I said I wasn't going to do more steps, then I was going to go to the other one, it didn't work out. Whatever. Into the third terminal, that's correct. Nothing else is going on, so I can just do a wrap on that now and solder it up. I'm really happy with that. It's got nothing to short out to. This is my first time trying putting that little bit of insulation on. I saw it on the previous build and I thought, oh, I'll try that. This is very dangerous, like talking to myself continuously out loud. It's a bad precedence. It's also very, very helpful, so I'll take all the help I can get right now. Just wipe the black stuff off. Same there. Cool. I do have to put in a one. No, I can do that later. I'm liking it. I can move on. So next, same deal, same jazz. Find the dressier side. I think it's that way. And those flat washers are there just to spread the load and add some sort of bearing, so when I tighten it up, it's not scraping into the paint or print. It's not paint, it's ink. So as I'm slotting that in, I'm also matching it up with that middle pot, and that it's all spaced out on the computer, so it all worked out really well. It's good when plans work out. So by finger, I'm just doing this. So same thing. I can put this sideways because the sides aren't printed or powdered. As long as I don't have bits of debris like metal clippings and stuff that can scrape. I'm really liking this 2 at the one time idea. Don't like how long it's going to take to get like return like mentally, but I guess I just have to program around that, you know? So I'm just checking it out now. I really like the way it's set itself up. It's all straight, so I'm going to tighten it the rest of the way. Whoops. Whoa, this one I forgot the washer somehow. That's looks good though, huh? That's not bad either. I mean, it probably looks a lot better, but I'm cool with the, like, this was like meant to look DIY anyway, so okay, if I've got extra hardware that looks a bit ugly, I think it just adds to the whole point. Let's see if I did any damage to the print or not. Let's take a look. Use the same nut. Take it off. Yeah, a little bit. This is like straight onto metal, this printing. There's no powder coat, so it's like really thin ink onto smack onto metal. There's nothing buffering. Like the polyester powder would have been way tougher. Like if you print onto powder, then that's pretty much the toughest thing you can do. Wow, that's, oh, why is that so tight, yo? I might have to move that pot later. Just because I didn't like incrementally nudge them up, done one up really tight and the other one's just waiting. So here it goes again. Straighten it up. This little part, I'm gonna like push it back a bit. I think I can. Screwdriver, push it back maybe. There we go. Whoa! Okay, too much. Yeah, somewhere in between those two. Yeah, that's good. How'd the other one come? Yeah, looks good. So, just squish that terminal down. Yeah, I'm not going to solder that now before I forget. Like, potentially. Good. Okay, still copying and pasting what I've just done, so again this is helping me digest more work. I'm going to put another sleeve on. Good thing it fits really well. I can write it down. Remember it was the third one from the left. Doop-de-blah. any little clippings, make sure you, if possible, account for them coming out and into the recycling rather than dropping in the bottom and collecting them later. Just more insurance. More assurance, insurance, assurance. So that little sleeve I put on is actually Teflon insulation. So it's a high stress electromechanical support for high temperature environments, high mechanical force environments. It's really tough. It doesn't melt, etc. You can't rub through it. It's good stuff. Okay, moving on. I think it would be pertinent to do the bottom strip. Maybe it won't matter. Let me look. So with most of the builds, I usually it won't matter. With the other builds, you run out of space where the foot switches are, trying to get the bolt in, but I think I just moved this one in a bit, so there should be room. Just go from top to bottom, and that's going to make my life easier. So this layout, it worked out so well. Like all the parts fell into place. Once I did this, once I try this, yes. Oh, okay. So I'll move on and I'll do the next strip down. So it's kind of a few wires. Two, three, I guess 3 wires. All right. Let's get cracking. 144 and 148 now. One is 44. One is 44. One is 44. One is 48. I do actually talk to myself like this normally, like hopefully internally. Just as like a mantra to keep the process like fresh in mind and just error checking, I guess. Like you need to get the right numbers. So one's what? So I'm taking 2 mil off one end and 3 mil off the other end. And that's going to be the same for both because these are going to go to the toggle switch, which has the drive mods. So one end's got a big chunk taken off, it's going to go into the tag strip. The other end's got a small end taken off going into the toggle, because toggles don't need much. It's very easy to strip off too much for toggles, and then you've got short circuits and stuff. Let's go tin these. I would be using the extractor. I might turn the fan on. It is very hot today, and it's probably going to blow the fumes in my face, but yeah, a little bit. As long as it sort of vacates them. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be too noisy though. I'll turn them off in a sec and just see how it goes. So the fan actually overpowers what the extractor's doing. Alright, moving on. I'm going to install those. So that's the short one obviously, so that's the 44, goes in 4th from the right. And I think I'll solder them from this side. So we need a long one too. This one's the 48 one. This stuff's gonna get harder and harder to actually hook up to that toggle switch too now, because like all the hardware's on top bearing it in. I think that's how I've done them in the past. Doesn't mean it's like the best way, but like at least I know it shouldn't be a problem. So that they've come up like the right amount of insulation and a little bit coming through on the other end, and the hole's just perfectly filled. Nothing extra, nothing less. One more. Straighten these things up a bit. Cool. So the short one is into 4th from the left. 44 mil. I do sort of like instruct myself what to do. Like I make it like this is an actual instruction, do this. Okay. So, sorry, that's for me. That will go off to the toggle. Sometimes I feel bad if I do videos that says like this many people watched your video, so every like second I waste, like I realize I'm wasting it of multiple people's seconds. Anyway, I need, it's not written down, I have to work it out. I need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A wire from here to here. And my method of counting it, so I just need 5 terminals long. I did have a mathematical way because they're 10 centimeters apart, so that makes it easy. I just can't remember what it was. So I just visually line it up at the edge of the metal. I count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I go to the edge of the other metal. And then that gives me just the right amount by the time I strip it and bend it in to go into the middle little eyelets. Yeah, so even if you forget things, just remember a way to remember things. Even if you don't remember what the thing was, you can remember how to remember it. That's good enough. Okay, so I'll need a decent amount, like that much. And this is going to jump earth and negative across to the IC. It's going to be like the main negative supply. So I'm going to tin those, fold them in, and then stick them into the tag strip. I do like to do them, I've left this till last, or after these ones at least, because I do like to do them on top of any wires running perpendicular. It just sort of helps to hide some of the wiring and make it look a bit neater, kind of, like you don't see the junctions. So I'm putting these on 90 degrees. Sticking it in. What, is there anything missing? Yes. There will be some wires coming in here later. Good news is, like I said, this is Teflon wiring. I can do this now, and then when I solder that later, it's not going to melt this wire. Like, there's no possibility of it or likelihood of it. So yeah, I'm gonna just hit it up. Oh, that's still hot. Yeah. These end ones, I leave them like just a little moment longer because it's got a bit more heat sink because the tab's that much larger. It's the same thing. So when I'm looking at where to twist this, I'm doing it in such a way that it's not going to be like twisting away from the board. It might be twisting up or down, hopefully up. That's just a way of making things look a little neater. I'm not sure if that made sense, but whatever. Other one. This stool is doing my back in. Oh, okay. It's not the best situation. I'm not sure why. What would I change? I don't know. Maybe I should stand up for a while. Might help. And I'll turn the light on here. It doesn't help much. It's good. It's got less power. Okay, we don't need this. Like well and truly, they're done. So as these little bits of hardware start disappearing, my happiness goes up because I feel like it's getting towards the end. Like the end is nigh. Like when you can see the end goal coming, like you feel encouraged, like, oh, okay, well I can keep going a bit more, like we're getting there. And some of these projects, if the end just doesn't look close, I just feel so discouraged from even wanting to start them. So there is an input wire that's going to jump across here. I'll do it right at the end. I do realize the audio is probably going to jump up a bit because I'm standing up now. Excuse me while I have a sip. Have I done this the right way? Yes, okay. I will have to sit down. This isn't going to work for me. So, I don't know, that's going to come up later, so I might just put some little like kinks in there. That one's going to jump over here. And that one's going to come up over here. Okay. So as I slot this in, I haven't straightened these legs up. I'm going to do that first. Straighten the terminals to some degree. Look at how it's going. Looks like this has to twist around a bit to look a bit neater. So I want to get those 2 feet, these squared off feet, sitting right first. And then I can sort of warp it a bit, like there is a bit of slack in there. A finite amount, like I wouldn't stress it. You can't snap them. It's this material, it's just like, is it FR2? It's not FR4. But it's just like a phenolic. How is that? Oh my god, I shouldn't have done that. This is going to be tight. Okay. Oh dear. So I now get this wire come up underneath, go into that little terminal there. It would have been so much easier before this socket went on. Why? Like way easier. I screwed up. And then the second one also has to feed it at the same time. Okay, so I guess I'm just gonna sort of guess how it's gonna have to go in. get a head start on with the lead form. Otherwise I'm going to have to take that socket out, like just desolder it, pop it out, just to do this one wire. Which, as I'm saying, it looks more like the possibility than not. That's what I need. I would like to win the game though, and not have to play it that way. So I would expect it to go under that little resistor line. Yeah, it can't go on top. So I'm just like back and forth, tweak it. Here we go. It's in. The other one's not in yet, but I'm fairly confident I can grab that, stick it in. So before I move anything, I'm just going to solder that. That was fiddly. It's just an emotional roller coaster here, isn't it? Another one, I should probably put the tag strip in its place before I solder that. Another thing to consider is that's going to slot in there, so I might as well do it now. Any more? 26mm one here has to go in. So I do have to remember to solder those really soon, otherwise I could forget them. I could human errorize them. So I'm hoping all that stressful stuff, by the time I do the next one, I think it'll be a bit more autopilot, and I'm hoping that's going to speed things up. It might be wishful thinking, but I believe it at this point. Day. How's that looking? Good. Nothing I'm forgetting so far. I really hope this wire is going to make the job. I feel like it's going to be a bit too short. I'll deal with it when I get there. I don't know. How can that happen? Oh no, that does go into this one. Yeah. So again, something looked wrong. I looked at it, I thought, why is this wrong? Why is there an anomaly? I was thinking this was going to go to the next row. It's going to go to this row. This row, bro. And then, yeah, look at that spacing looks good. If I sound a little stressed, I think I am. I've been building a lot of these, and they're very stressful. I took orders on that like special sale thing, which I've ended now because it was killing me. And I don't know, whenever I start something like this, it just feels like it's the hardest thing I've done. But like these layouts I've done a few of them now, so they're a bit easier. Like there's a lot more copy paste. This was a copy paste of the Black Russian layout, which also used 5 strips, so that worked out really well. do it with less, probably, if you did like more stuff mounted directly to the hardware, like popping, yeah, straight off the pots. Okay, I'll turn that fan off now. It's actually pretty cool. That one I can't solder yet. There's another wire coming in. Next one. This one I can solder, so I will. Yep, I'm happy with that. Get that black bit off. What else? I did say I'd have to put that one on. Okay, this will be a bit tough. So I'll put a little pre-kink, and I can see there's a little bit of a dag, I guess. I'm going to call it a dag. Can I fit two things in this? I feel like I've done it before, so I don't want to push this terminal too much, like switches get mechanical stress. The terminals on Arc Vehicle. I've just tried to fill that and hopefully make sure that the whole eyelet's filled and all three parts are connecting, so that's good. Okay. So yeah, the switch is done. Drive pot is done. Volume pot's nearly done. Why? Oh, okay. I was going to say, why is there one wire? There's going to be a 1K resistor coming off that volume pot later, connecting it up. So, my job is to copy paste, move it across, do the next one. And again, I have to sort of make a form, a lead form on this to come up and get into that. And this, which one is it? This one. Just come across into the, about here. This one comes up here. Bring that up. Okay. Look, it just, look. No, you can't see. It just nearly fell right in. That's just what she said. Wow, yeah, so that's just proof that doing things like 2 at a time, I knew how to form that lead because it wasn't, you know, I'm not doing it a week later or something. Good, that worked. So yeah, these are slow builds. Like all this time, I'm just putting hardware in still, like, and I'm doing the wiring. I haven't even started putting parts in. Usually when you start building a pedal, what you do is start putting parts into the circuit board, and it's all about the parts. And this is just like setting up the equivalent of the circuit board, which doesn't exist. So we can get to the parts. Okay, I've just cross-threaded that and trying to fix it up. There we go, I think that's it. So before I tighten it up, I'll just slot everything in. This one. It does go in here, yeah. I was meant to go get food today. I was going to get a Thai milk tea across the road. And probably some Thai noodles as well for dinner. And the more I start working, the more I feel like taking a break and doing that. And it's like stinking hot out there too. I guess I could take my bike. So yeah, all the ones, I won't solder them yet, but they're in the right spots. So I'm happy with all that. Start tightening it up. Not going all the way yet. I'm just gonna try and like nip it pretty much all the way, just not those last little turns. Let's see how it's seating its and stuff. This one I'm gonna try and turn from the inside so it rotates a bit. Probably won't work, but I'll try. Got a lot more leverage on that side, I don't want to over tighten and snap anything. And this one I'll do the other way. Let's tighten that. Cool. Straighten things up. Haven't even got to putting the IC in yet. That's I guess that's the whole meat of the build, trying to get all the 8 legs of the chip point to point wired on. It's like 8 wires at one time to slot in. So I'm going to check this out. Take that off a bit and put the last bit of the slack going down. I don't want it like pushing into the solder joint while I'm soldering it. Yeah, that's pretty good. Just double check it. That's 4th from the right. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's correct. And I'm going to send the slack around a bit to absorb that little S bend. I also got one up here that's not soldered yet. They're in, and one up here that's not soldered yet. It's on the next one. So again, straighten it up. I think it's moving on to the next one now. Dun 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 dun. Dun dun dun. Now the next one's getting a bit busier. It should be looking identical-ish. Sure. Okay, that's a bit wonky. It's in good shape otherwise. A part of this is a special part I have to dig out. It's going to go in now, sooner rather than later. Yeah. It's a secret part. 1H. That's going to come in between these two, I think. Let's go decide what text I want on the top. There we go. It says 50 volts. I'm going to put that at the top. That's a glass part. Yeah, cut the legs off. I can see it's not an ROHS part because I can see there's some lead in the legs. So that's going to disqualify me from having an ROHS compliant build in this instance. That's okay because I can send this to Australia. Or America. They're still pretty behind on all that stuff. Just like us. Put a little bit more solder in each one. Yeah, that's cool. So I'm just going to hold it with my finger while I solder it. I don't advise this. I just do this. Right on. So, I'm going to need a couple of wires on this one. Having the last of my West Coast IPA. I need 29mm. It's a pretty short one. So everything in duplicate, every action I have to duplicate twice. You know, duplicate once, done twice. And a 57mm, fairly long one. It's going to jump between two terminals and go diagonally, kind of. So it's like nearly 3 o'clock. I'm already feeling pretty like mentally blurred. And certainly having a beer doesn't help. But you know, I'm gonna keep going. Just reporting my status that I would like to take a break, but I'm like pushing myself not to. line 29, it's going to go diagonally as well. So it's just some prep wiring. That's just a lot easier to do it on the board now before it goes in. And I've already put a bit of thought into which one should, you know, be soldered first to join into which one. It's a bit of Sudoku sort of. And that's like something that really slows down designing new layouts. Just having to think like, well, if I do this now, is it going to cause problems later, and make it like a process where you don't have to undo your work, or try and feed things like underneath and when it's buried and a bit too late. Like, if you've got the process right from the beginning, it's all great, but that's not the way it works. So, I mean, it could be, but not without some thought. At some point, you just got to dive in. One, two, three, four. I'm going to put the short one in this side. Which leaves the long one to sort of have more wiggle room. Little black crap, I'm going to get it out. And I'm going to put like a little fold on this so I can hopefully go where I want it to go. I'm going to bend it not at the joint, just outside the joint, so like it doesn't try and do it itself later. And I'll do the next one, then I'll duplicate to the other tag strip. So I need something like that. Okay, copy paste. Oh, wrong way. That's why things are feeling weird. Let's see about that. That'll just, yeah. And why the bubble tea? Because it's Sunday. It's looking like I'm going to see Dune 2. It's getting a bit late. That might be a good dinner plan, maybe. Just a little tight cinema around the corner. Oh, let's see if that fits. Find out soon. I think they're ready to go in. So yeah. Legs look okay. I'm gonna roll with that. Obviously move that out of the way, don't crank it down. I guess I can put those in now rather than later. If possible, this one here, that's gonna be a bit of a stretch. It really is. I don't know, is that correct? I'm going to modify my notes on that. I'll give it another millimeter or two. Well, it's loading anyway. I'll do it in a sec. So, Dirkle. Yeah, I'm just making noises now, like random. Burp, burp. That's how I explain things in my head at this point of the day. Dirkle, dirkle. Probably have an idiot checked for a while, just look out for anything unsalted, so probably about due for that. I'm just starting to feel really disheartened, like how long all this prep is taking me. Maybe I should hurry up, but like I just want parts to start going in, because then I feel like I'm actually building the effect, the circuit. I'm just doing the circuit wiring now. It's not really the circuit, it's the circuit wiring. Okay, I'll tighten that up full way. Tightening it from the outside, that way I'm not like twisting that position on the inside. Wire, I was worried it's not long enough. I'm just gonna put some solder on to liquefy the joint and just pour it in a slightly better direction at least. I don't want to recut a new one because it was obviously okay before. There we go. Oh. That should go in here. Maybe I won't mess with the length. That looks pretty good. Maybe I won't. Or maybe, no, I'll put one more millimeter on. I'll save me doing that again in the future one day. Okay, I'm gonna. So I think we'll look at it to pull this out just a tiny bit. It's fine, but it's just. Oh, I'm gonna leave it. Cool, yeah, cool. So these can go in. I think I might finish this row and then take a break. My brain, I know it's my fault for having a beer, but I'm just sort of Sundaying. I wouldn't mind going to get a snack, doing something fun, because I'm gonna definitely be working on these for a long time. Going into tomorrow, so no weekend through into the public holiday, because I do have to get these done. Like, it's just the fact of the matter. So it's going to be at least 3 parts, and I'm going to guess a lot more if I keep going with these videos. My phone's probably going to crap out eventually anyway, like it has to store and upload all this stuff. Just getting the black nasty off. Do the one beside it. Probably could have cleaned that tip before I started. I would say most black stuff, but all right. What else we got? This one here has to go across. Good, I like it. Just gonna solder that where it landed. How's that looking? From left to right. I know there's more work. I'm just like looking through it. Straighten up. Good. Empty. There's wire in that later. Wire in that now. Wire in that now. And then there's one more. I'd like to get now before we get too far along. I sort of save these to last because anytime you have like a firm thing linking between the layers, the rows. Oh man. Oh, whoops. I was definitely not meant to solder that in yet. Whoops. Okay, that's my first mistake. Like my first real mistake. So I'm gonna desolder. That's gonna slow me down. Not by much. And I've definitely done this mistake before. Flow that. Get as much of it as we can out. Do it from either side. Yeah, beautiful. It's gonna be a lot harder to do in circuit on this angle there. And I can't take this row out now because I've just soldered everything onto it. Okay, I'm hoping that's it. Let me take a look. Yeah, probably. So I need that. This is going to carry positive. I'll swing it under that wire, I guess. And I need to jump across between the two rows. It'll look kind of straight too. I think the more I fiddle with that, the worse it's going to get. So I'm just going to solder it. Like it's not bad to have a bit of an S-bend in it because then it has somewhere for the slack to actually go and get absorbed if anyone ever like pulls on a oil or something. Is that filled? Yeah, that's beautiful. Cool. And the other end, I'm just going to cut it for now. It's got two more wires going in later, so I'll save it for later. Next up, same thing. I'm gonna get one of those long ones. Oh, I've got to put the whole row in. So yeah, I'm just gonna idiot check that. It's a lot of black, like burnt up flux resin. Not a lot, but I'm gonna put this one in, and then I think I'm gonna go after this 3 rows out of 5. So after that, I was gonna do the last 2 rows. The last 2 rows have the input and output buffer stages on them, pretty much. And these rows are gonna have the tone stack and the op amp for all the drive. So how's that look? Pretty straight. That's good. So I'll feed that in. Feed everything where it needs to be. That one I think has to go across there. That one into there. This one I'm guessing into here. I should probably double check these. That has to come up into the second one. Yeah. Second from the right. I feel like the whole board's just resisting me pushing it in, so I just might have to shove it. Yeah, it's making it. Hey, no one said anything for a while. Is that me or you not saying anything for a while? It's been peaceful, hasn't it? I'm just tightening it up, the last steps. Goes to show it's like really hard to find ways to rush this build. Like, even if you want to build it quickly, like you can build it sort of hastily, but beyond that, what can you do? Like, it just takes time. And when I'm hasty, I make mistakes, so that just sort of adds time, so I don't do it too often. I can avoid it. There you go, just justified being lazy. Okay, this guy goes into number 3 from the right. Straighten it up where I want it before I solder it. And I'm just going to move that DC lead out of the way quickly. Idiot check, yeah, nothing else goes in, good. I should just call them checks, but mistake check. If I make mistakes, and I didn't have to, it's being an idiot. Hey! Good, I'm doing another video, I'll wrap it up real soon. That's in the wrong one. Is that right? Just feels like it's a little extra long now. Maybe I just bent it. No, I did. I sort of bent it out of shape. Is that right? Yes, yes, yes. Which leaves me that positive lead to oh, just jumped out of my class. Let's try and do this before. Doesn't want to squeeze through exactly straight. I've got to bend it tiny bit. Which is good, like I said, it's okay to have a bit of an S bend. And that's going to carry positive across. It sets up the bias network. There's 2 different bias networks on this. What else? This one goes to the second from the left. Just going to seat it a bit more appropriately. And it's looking pretty good. Pretty good. Oh, just got a kink in that. Yes, yes. Anything else? Oh yeah, I didn't getting salty these. I gotta do that now before I forget. That could be a catastrophe. Oh my god, can you imagine? So these two come in here. I'm going to solder it from this side because there's a wire on the other side. Just double checking from the opposite side, everything is one. Okay. Same thing on this one. Loose ends, you know, loose threads. Tie off loose threads, and eventually the circuit works without problems. What else is missing? That's done, that's done. It's done. Alright, so I'm up to 3 rows out of 5 done. Like I said, the input output buffers will be on there. Once that's done, I'm sort of on the, I feel like it's more the home stretch of putting the parts in. That still takes like a day maybe, so yeah, I've got my work cut out for me. Again, that's why these are expensive pedals. I have to remind myself that I'm getting paid. So that's cool. Alright guys, thank you so much. Hopefully I'll do the rest of this, like I've made it so far, all under live video. I'll try and keep it up, and hopefully this will be a complete series of multiple parts and you'll be able to watch the rest of it. So yeah, take a look. Thank you and goodbye. Are you sure that you want to stop streaming? Yes. Thanks guys.